Welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck Are the Planets Doing Today? I'm your host, Brooke, and let's dive into the chart, shall we? So I took a little bit of a break. I had to, okay? I had to. Please forgive me. I needed to do some deep soul searching and really tap into my why. Why do I get on here every day and share this? Because I've literally been crucified. And my children be targets of that crucifixion because of this, okay? So I had to do some deep soul searching to find my why, to find my spark. So let's dive into the chart, shall we? We have the sun at 25 degrees of Gemini. Now, what I want to point out is the moon is at 25 degrees of Aquarius. So they are in great harmonious balance. We're going to have a lot of information coming out, specifically about the things that are ending within the collective. This could be science experiments. This could be crimes against humanity. This could be leaders not truly in line with what they're supposed to be in line with, okay? Now the nodes are at that infamous 22 degrees of Pisces and Virgo, and we all know what that means, okay? And Uranus is still in that square with Mars. Now Mars and the moon's going to be opposing, so we could hear of leaders that are not quite in integrity, that's maybe been in support of some of the things that humanity's not in line with. There's one thing that I want to stress the most that I have been saying over and over and over again for, I don't know, year and a half. Okay, the Saturn lesson in Pisces, because Pisces is the collective, okay? It is the higher mind. It is the higher realms. It is the heavens, okay? But it's also hell too, all right? That the collective lesson has been about the wounded masculine and war, okay? And what I found interesting is over the last few days, there's been a lot of polls on X that is showing and supporting everything that I have been saying, okay? Humanity wants peace. There's only a few select at the top that want war, okay? And the moon's going to be exposing that, specifically as we get closer to the North Node. All right. Now, I do want to point out that this square is still exact with Saturn and Jupiter. Now, I want to dive into this Saturn and Neptune conjunction. Okay. Neptune rules illusions. Neptune rules the ocean. It rules our dreams. It rules our beliefs, okay? It can also rule religion. And this is where a lot of the religious wars have been coming into play, specifically with only a group of people being the chosen, which I made a video last night kind of debunking that. And I've got another video that I'm going to be making today that's in support of what I've been saying, right? So anyway, I want to remind you guys with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, Neptune rules illusions, okay? Saturn's going to rule control. Saturn's going to be the father figure, but it's also going to be our government structures, okay? So there has already been proof that a certain country or a certain state is releasing old footage of their attacks. There's also a lot of people in higher positions that's pushing propaganda. Okay, that too. Just because it's in Aries doesn't mean that that propaganda aspect is just going to go away, all right? It's already been confirmed. So if people are out here saying that it's a guarantee thing that's gonna happen, just remember, propaganda. Okay? There is a lot of fake things that are developing. Okay? I'm not saying that we're not gonna see war. I'm not saying that we're not gonna see those things, okay? Because it's already been shown that we are seeing them. But how much of it is old, how much of it is actually real, and how much is like truly happening? Okay, now specifically I want to talk about the square with Uranus and Taurus. Okay, now we have noticed that there has been a lot of fluctuation within natural resources. There's been a lot of fluctuation within our financial systems. So we're going to continue to see this going on. And when I say with Uranus, okay, Uranus is really, really hard to predict. And unless you have dominant Uranian placements, okay, it's really hard to understand it, right? So Uranus is the disruptor. Uranus brings revolution, and this doesn't always mean that it has to be pew pew revolution. Okay, it can be revolution in how we speak. It can be revolution in how we heal. It can be revolution in our technology. It can be revolution in our medicine. And we're already seeing that play out with what specific people are putting into place as far as medicine is concerned. Okay, so White Moon Selena is also in a square with Chiron. So we still have Chiron conjunct Eris. And squaring White Moon Selena. So with this aspect, I do feel that White Moon Selena, specifically in Cancer, is truly holding down and exposing the things at home, the things that just don't work, the problems, the challenges, the wounds, okay, that need to be healed. And then we have Lilith that is in a trine with Saturn and Neptune. So Lilith is also helping to light a fire and bring all that is hidden up to the surface. Now, I do want to note that Zeus is also in a trine with the moon. So pay attention to what's going on within our judicial system. We're going to see a lot of changes here, okay? Venus is now out of that square with Pluto. So let me get one card for the energy for today, please. Give me one card for the energy for today, please. The King of Swords. With the World card. We're going to see a lot of truth. It's 12/21. We're going to see a lot of truth that's brought to light within the world. And things have changed so quickly as far as certain things that have been going on. Yes. So we're going to see a lot of changes as far as our money is concerned, as far as leadership is concerned, okay? There's definitely going to be a changing of the guards globally, okay? And it's not just going to be one country that has the changing of the guards. It's going to be numerous countries that have a changing of the guards. Be mindful of your words. Just remember your words are spells, and that's the spells that you're casting upon humanity, right? So everything that you worked on is coming together. Continue doing the work. Continue focusing and nurturing the things that you're trying to grow and expand, and keep an eye on your emotions, specifically having this Mercury in Cancer and Jupiter in Cancer too, okay? Because our emotions can kind of get the best of us if you're not keeping an eye on that, all right? I love you guys. I hope these messages find you well, and I'll be back for another update soon. Bye.